If you want to hit the ball further, if you want to hit more fairways with your golf game, and if you want to lower your scores, then in this golf lesson today, we are going to avoid hitting those shots you have just seen on screen. And guys, if you are new to the channel, then welcome to the channel. Please do consider hitting that subscribe button. We are trying to get to 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And if you've been a regular viewer of the channel, thank you very much for the support, and I hope you're enjoying the content. So what we want to do when we're thinking about hitting more fairways and hitting the ball further, which is what every golfer wants to do, especially with this club right here. We need to get the basics right to start with. So from down the line, what I like to see is that our arms are hanging underneath our shoulders, and again, we are around about 6 inches away from that club. I'm not standing too far away and having to reach for that. We often see that that club works a long way inside. I'm also not too tall and upright where we start to pick that club up. Now face on, when I've got into that position, we don't want to see that club back here. We're adding loft and closing that club face. We also don't want to see that you've got this pointing outside of your left hip. That's going to open that club face and encourage those shots out to the right, or even maybe get you hitting the top of that driver, which nobody wants to see. We also want to make sure ball position is good, so too far back, and that's going to encourage our club to be working down, and it's going to encourage that path to be working out to the right. Too far forwards, we know, okay, it's outside the left of the foot. I've been told I've got to hit up on this golf ball. Well, that's past its low point, and that club will be working left. So club face potentially closed, and also you might get those toe strikes that nobody wants to see. We're going to lose a lot of distance from there, and we're not being able to get the strike we want, the distance we want, and it's going to cost you a lot of shots. Now for me, what we want to be able to do from here is get those good basics correct to start with. But then it's this first move that I see that does cost a lot of people consistency. And if you're hitting those shots again that are on the screen now, that top shot, that low one off the face, or that big slice, what I often see from people is you start to get that club and that blower body working together. So we start to see this motion here. We start to see what we'd call as a block turn. So club is dropping way behind, hips are very much rotated, that club comes behind here, and we know exactly what we're going to do from here. We try and hit at that golf ball, we come over the top, and that club face, the path is working left, and the club face is pointing out towards the right. So already I'm having a glancing blow. I'm not able then to get the strike. I'm not able to then get the pressure on the golf ball, and we're certainly not going to get the ball speed that you want. And mainly, after spending maybe £600, £500 on the latest driver, we're not going to get any benefit from that. So this is where obviously golf lessons are very important, and golf tips are exactly what we need to help you improve. And yes, you will have your local PGA professional, but if you're looking for online lessons or in-person lessons, then my email is in that description below. Get in touch if you want to improve your game and get those scores down. So what we want to do from here is we want to start to get that feeling that this club is working with our chest. Hips are staying very static to start with, so we're not going to start to see the big hip movement. We're going to start to see that the club and the chest work together first. You see that keeps the club out in front of me, but more importantly, keeps it nice and wide. And then from there, we can obviously start to let those hips rotate a little bit so we can get deep into that backswing. And I'm now in a strong position on this right-hand side to be able to then start to go in the reverse. Get that club down into delivery, and then from there, start to release. Because what we also see from face on here, and if you're watching somebody, you might notice this now, or if you're watching yourself at a driving range where there might be some glass, there might be a mirror in some of the bays, then you'll start to see this motion right here. So you'll start to see that, if anything, all my left there is on that left foot, and from here, again, I'm going to have to get to the top of my backswing, and we often see the opposite. We then finish down at impact with the weight straight on that right foot. This is when that club is potentially working up, so we might hit the bottom like we did on that shot earlier, or we might leave that club face open and hit that big carving shot well out to the right. But then if you've been getting those shots consistently, we might start to see that you might start to time that a bit better. You start to square it up, it goes straight, but it's going exceptionally high. So you might have changed your driver. I don't need that 12-degree driver now, I need a 8-degree driver. But we're still not getting the distance that you want. So what we want to see from here and from face on is that I'm going to move away with the chest and the club, but you see that my lower body is nice and strong. From there, I'm now going to hinge the wrist, turn to the top, and you'll start to see that I'm now over on this right hand side. So again, I could lift this right foot up as a drill to make sure I'm loaded onto this right hand side. Then from there, I'm going to start to transfer that weight over there. Sternum is going to stay back, and that's going to allow me to deliver that club a little bit up. You see my hands are in line with that golf ball, sternum is behind, and that club face is nice and square. I'm putting pressure on that golf ball, so I'm able then to start to get the strike that I want. And like we said there, the sternum is a key point. So when, again, at setup, one of the basics we want to get right is we don't want to see that your body is upright. We're going to have that little bit of tilt behind that golf ball, so we can get our low point before that golf ball with a driver. That's why the ball is on a tee, and then we are hitting slightly up as we turn through. So again, it comes back to having those basics. It comes back to having those boxes ticked when we address that golf ball. If we get all this correct, if I keep my lower body nice and stable to start with, keep that club wide, you'll see we can start to build a better backswing. It's going to be the fastest way for you to hit the ball longer, hit it straighter, maybe even start to hit a little draw just like that one. We've changed the shot shape there, that's come off nice and fast, that's giving me a reasonable distance into the green, and hopefully that's going to help you lower your scores. And guys, like I say there, it's a new format to the channel. We've gone back to Chris Dennis Golf, we've gone back to doing a lot more coaching to help you lower your scores. We're still going to be doing reviews on the channel and having mid-handicap Dave on here, who has retired. If you want to congratulate him, get in those comments below. And as for now, guys, if you're not a subscriber, please hit that button. We want to see 50,000 this year, and I'll see you later in the week.